Today's San Francisco 49ers report is presented by Manscaped. Father's Day is coming up, and if you're looking for something to get your pops, start with Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping, promo code 49ers at manscaped.com/49ers. They have beard products and, of course, what they've always had, the best men's grooming products below the waist as well. That's manscaped.com/49ers. Let's begin today's show with this question coming in from Evan Hinders. The 49ers should call DeAndre Hopkins. Now, keep in mind that we are recording this on Tuesday. DeAndre Hopkins was just officially released by the Arizona Cardinals. And while this impacts the Niners to a certain degree, it's not going to be the degree that you want, Evan, because the Niners are not going to sign him. I'm going to say that right now. This does impact the Niners, though, because when they take on the Arizona Cardinals, they don't have to worry about DeAndre Hopkins any longer. He is going to look for a big deal out there, and he has two suitors who are really after him. And it's said to be an arms race between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of those teams have bigger wide receiver needs than the San Francisco 49ers. And I think both are willing to pay DeAndre Hopkins much more than the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not going to say that the Niners have been conservative, but they're going to be conservative here. Some money still left to fork over for that Nick Bosa deal. They're going to be paying a lot of money for Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk. If they want to keep both, that's why DeAndre Hopkins is not going to happen. From lore, what are the 49ers trade targets? Yeah, it's a pretty interesting question. So this post-June 1 designation is going to open up some opportunities to target some players in the trade market. You're looking at the safety position. Two players come to mind, a Kevin Byard of the Tennessee Titans and a Budda Baker of the Arizona Cardinals. What it allows teams to do, just get some money flexibility and cap flexibility after that June 1 date. So by waiting until after June 1, it just saves some money on the books for the upcoming 2023 season. I don't think the Niners, though, are going to make a play in the trade market for that post-June 1. Now, for post-June 1 cuts, when the Niners can sign some of these players to some free agent deals and they can sign an individual to a new contract that they like to their liking instead of having to inherit one via a trade, that could then happen, Lore. John Wallace, $2 super chat. Traders got buyer's remorse. Yeah, that's a good saying out there. He said that a little bit earlier as far as Jimmy Garoppolo going to the Raiders and him getting injured. Bad luck for Jimmy Garoppolo, obviously, failing that physical, needing to get that surgery. Lore with another one coming in. Why did the Raiders not check on Jimmy Garoppolo's injury before they signed him? So this is kind of common practice in the NFL, but it's a good question from you. You sign a player, you bring him in for a physical, and then you make the deal official. Well, what happened is that the Raiders and Jimmy Garoppolo's camp, they agreed to terms on a deal. They didn't sign the contract. They agreed to terms. Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Raiders facility. He was going to sign that contract with Las Vegas, but he had to pass his physical first. He undergoes that physical. They see that foot injury is not healed. They recommend surgery for Garoppolo. And they say, we're not signing you unless you get this surgery. The Niners may have told you not to get that surgery. We're telling you, you need to get this surgery. Otherwise, you're not going to be 100%. You're going to re-injure it, or you're just going to be unhealthy in general. So that's kind of how the process works there, Lore. Good question from you, though. Past. Chase, I don't have a question the front seven at all on the 49ers defense. However, what's your take on the secondary? I'm with you, Past. I like the Niners front seven as well. We'll see who steps in there for Azeez Al-Shire. It's a little bit of a concern because who's going to step in? Marcelino McCrary-Ball? Is it going to be another player who can impress? Is it going to be one of the rookies, D. Winters, Jalen Graham, who steps in there surprisingly? I have confidence in that linebacker room because you still have All-Pro Fred Warner and you have Dre Greenlaw, who also played at an All-Pro level last year. My take on the secondary, though, I'm higher on it than a lot of other people are. I think the signing that a lot of people are sleeping on is Isaiah Oliver. He's a very good slot nickel corner who's going to fulfill that role that you didn't have once Jimmy Ward left for the Houston Texans. So at slot corner, you're good there with Isaiah Oliver and Samuel Womack. Outside corner, I like Charvarius Ward. I think he's a feisty player and a good player. Analytics certainly back that up. Deommodore Lenoir played really good coming down the stretch. I think he's a fine cornerback number 2. Another name to watch in that secondary, Darrell Luter Jr., the 5th-round pick out of South Alabama. Really good ball skills, not afraid to get physical at the line of scrimmage to jam you as a press corner. He's already turning heads and has a pro-ready body. And then at safety, Talanoa Hufanga was an all-pro in year 2 last year. Has to get better and not bite on a couple of the play-action sequences that he got caught slipping on last year. Cut Deshaun Gibson play at an all-pro level once again. That's a little bit of a question mark, but you did draft a rookie, Jair Brown, who I had mocked to the Niners. I really, really wanted him to get drafted by San Francisco. That's a Steve Wilkes pick right there, who has a defensive back background. Feel free to interact with me on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on both social media platforms at Chase_Senior. Love hearing from the faithful out there. Putting a lot of content on both platforms as well. Tom Daly, $10 super chat. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. Lads, we have come a long way. Keep up the awesome work. Lads, keep up the stellar work. Can't wait for the watch party. Let's go. Let's go, San Francisco. Tom, I do appreciate the kind words, man. I think back to when I took over the channel back in 2021, I was a young buck. I was more inexperienced in this business than I am now. And to be able to talk Niners every day with the passionate subscriber base that we have, with people worldwide, because the faithful really does span worldwide. It's special. It's an honor. I don't take it for granted. That's why I bust my ass every single day. And the watch parties, by the way, going to be lit. As I mentioned off the top of the show, the 49ers Report is presented by Manscaped. Father's Day is coming up. And if you're looking for something to get your pops for Father's Day, the only answer is Manscaped. They have launched some brand new beard products, but really, they have everything that your pops would absolutely love. If you haven't gotten your dad anything yet, don't worry. That's where Manscaped comes in. You and I both know your dad needs some serious grooming in his life. So grab your dad the Performance Package 4.0, and he will thank you for helping him tame his beast. It's a win-win situation for mom and dad. You know what I mean? Go to manscaped.com, promo code 49ers for 20% off and free shipping. Your balls will thank you with everything that Manscaped has. Lawnmower 4.0, 4th generation trimmer, features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skincare technology. You might ask, how is this Lawnmower 4.0 different from other trimmers? Well, this upgraded trimmer includes a multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock. This is a great feature if your dad or yourself does a lot of traveling. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight where you need a precise shave. I know a couple of areas in which that rings true. You can now shave your balls in the dark. How cool is that? But their beard products are also great. Beard like a pro with Manscaped as well. That's manscaped.com/49ers. Promo code 49ers for 20% off and free shipping. The best gift for your dad during this holiday season. Let's continue to keep it moving here with some questions coming in from our subscribers. Venom with the Brock Purdy profile picture. Gotta love it. What team do you think Jimmy Garoppolo will go to if he doesn't go to the Raiders and most likely won't come back to the Niners because we don't need him anyways? He's not going to come back to the Niners. I mean, I would be floored. I would be shocked. I would be flabbergasted if Jimmy Garoppolo returned to San Francisco. I think he's going to play for the Raiders. I think he's going to start week 1. I think the foot injury is going to be fine. He's probably doing everything in his power to heal up. Why? He knows that a lot of money is at stake. Calvin Mason, $5 super chat. Thank you so much for that tip. Do you think we should make a trade for a right tackle, which is a big concern? The thought of that sounds great, right? Trade for a right tackle. Upgrade at right tackle. I think the Niners have missed the boat. I think they're going to move forward with Colton McKivitz, Matthew Pryor, maybe Alfredo Gutierrez to see if one of them can win that job. And what's concerning about this, Niners offensive line got dominated against the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. They got dominated by the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. I think you build your teams inside out. Offensive line, defensive line, and then, of course, you get that quarterback. The Niners They got manhandled along the offensive line in the playoffs last year. And you're telling me that in not upgrading at right tackle, they're okay with that? I happen to disagree with that philosophy. There aren't many trade candidates out there. That's the problem there, Calvin Mason. Kevin Edelman will Talanoa Hufanga have a repeat season. It's hard to be a back-to-back all-pro player. He's certainly made some opportune clutch plays for this team. He really is like a Troy Polamalu type of player, and it's not just the Polynesian connection as well as the hair. He has a very similar playing style, play in the box, blitz, tackle for loss, just runs around like his hair's on fire. He's really, really fun to watch. I'm going to say he does not make it to an all-pro team, but he has a very good season, and maybe even better. Let me explain. He doesn't bite on some of the actions that he bought on last year, which led to the opposing offense coming through with some chunk plays. John Wallace, what's the news on Luter? How's he looking? Yeah, so I talked about him a little bit earlier. Darrell Luter Jr. and Samuel Womack, two players that the 49ers drafted out of Toledo for Womack and South Alabama for Luter, who didn't go to major college football programs, but displayed similar skills in the sense that they had a knack for breaking up passes. Sometimes you just can't teach that. A cornerback can run a 4.3. He can be a blazer. He can be a freaky athlete. He can jump really, really high. If you don't have ball skills, you're not going to be a successful cornerback in this league. You have to be able to turn around and address the football. You can't run into the wide receiver. You'll get called for PI. You have to be able to make plays. And Luter, Womack did that at the college level. Womack did that a little bit last year in year one. I'm expecting a leap for him in year two. Needed to bulk up just a little bit. For Luter, though, body's looking good. The instincts have always been there. I think by the end of the season, he could be this team's number 3 or number 2 cornerback. Don't sleep on Darrell Luter Jr. Make sure you subscribe to the show, especially if you want to get your questions answered like we answered on today's program. It's the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Today's mailbag in the book.